and welcome back to Yay Basketball, the basketball game show. Monday, October 21st, 2024. We still exist. We're still alive. Can you believe it? We're
still alive?
Longest break of the show's history. Well, outside of the 2 years that we didn't do an episode, but so glad to be back, streaming and recording live from the Yay Studio. I am your host and producer, Michael Padilla. Along with me today, I've got a boy I'm glad to see. It's Bob Aldrich.
Hey, Michael. Glad to be back with my best friend. And I'm happy to see that none of us made the Diddy list this year. So well done, guys. Round of applause. Good job.
As well as Justin Moore.
You know, I'm glad to be here with both of my good friends.
Good.
Thank you.
It's a great time. I'm glad to be back. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it all.
Let's get to it.
The whole thing.
Thank you very much for being here with us, everybody. Trey, of course, not here. We were waiting so long to get everybody back in full.
We tried.
And it just didn't happen. Shout out to John Anthony for being here. Shout out to David Boone being here.
Woo! What up?
Dan is here. Cactus is here.
Hey,
of course,
Dan.
we've got the YB squad. Thank you so much for being back, guys.
Wow. I'm so glid they're still here.
Yes, of course, they're here. Thank you so much, everybody.
It's been waiting for 79 years.
Sitting on YouTube.
Just talking to each other. Where'd they go?
In an old live stream.
Good morning, Cactus. Good morning, John Anthony.
Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Okay, as always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at Yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. It's early.
Add me on the ground.
Still do it. We're rusty. Also, go to yaybasketball.com for exclusive YB merch. We've got t-shirts, mugs, hats, stickers, and hoodies with a bunch of great designs. So go grab some of that sweet Yay Basketball merch. Yaybasketball.com for exclusive YB merch. Typically, this would be the point where I'd be like, hey, Justin, tell us about the score. But it was 3 months ago. Who cares?
You can indeed.
You can indeed.
Michael?
Yeah, so we're going to figure all that out once Trey gets back. And we're going to, just heads up, we will also be skipping next week. But we had to hop in before the season started and get some stuff on wax, predictions and all that, and fantasy update and all that good stuff. So we're just going to dive in because we've got a whole lot to talk about with a brand new segment called Higher Lower. Yes. Damn. Higher Lower, brand new segment here. This one is pretty straightforward. So we are going to take a look at the Eastern Conference first. And we will, on 3, we will reveal with these handy-dandy little arrows that the boys made about 20 minutes ago if we'll go through the standings from bottom to top. Bob?
Yeah.
Give me
Top.
And we will... we will predict where we think the team in question will finish, whether they are higher, lower, or the same, roughly the same, at least, as where they were last season. So I'll pull up a visual for us here, and as well, the viewers should be able to see this here. Let me be sure that they can see this. Also, we will add this. So these are last year's standings. So here it is. So we'll start with the bottom, shall we? And at the very bottom, the Detroit Pistons.
Woo! Peeking at the Pistons, baby.
Detroit Pistons. All right.
Remember when we thought? We had such hope for them.
I put it on wax. I was
still
like,
believe.
the Pistons might be fine for a playoff spot. Hey, boss, I like what the Pistons are doing here, boss. That whole thing, yeah. Okay, so, gentlemen, reveal higher, lower on 3, 2, higher, lower, or the same. 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right, so Bob and I higher, Justin the same. So you're the outlier here. Why don't you explain why you think they're just going to be roughly the same at the very bottom there.
And elaborate how they cannot go lower.
They obviously can't go lower, right? They can't go lower, but I will say this. I don't see what they've changed to make them go higher. And
Coach?
That's sure, but I still got to, I don't blame everything on just the players last year. To be fair, I don't think obviously their coach was the the person that wanted to be there. I think he just wanted that paycheck, which is fine. I don't care. Like, do your thing. I don't see it. Like, Cade is going to be really good. But Tobias Harris isn't going to be really good. You know what I mean? Nobody really has rooted for Tobias Harris in years. I was the outlier on that last year in fantasy. So, but I will say, I mean, they might win more than the 14 games. I just don't think I think they're going to be in last place still.
Okay.
That would be kind of where I'm at.
I think they get better just because I do think that the coaching change will help a little bit. It seems like he lost the locker room. I don't think that he had Monty Williams was.
I don't think he ever had it.
Yeah, right.
And that's just when you come in with a big paycheck like that, and you're this coach that honestly some players had played against before, and there's just a level of respect that wasn't quite there, I don't think. And yeah, he honestly got paid. He fleeced the Pistons for some money, man. It was great. But JB Bickerstaff, what a hire. A perfect hire, I think, for a young team that is still trying to develop their identity. And if you have JB Bickerstaff, who always has a top 8 defense, you're going to incorporate that pretty damn quickly for the Pistons. So I'm excited for their defense. I'm excited for their development. And that is exactly why I think they will be not the worst team in the East next year.
Great. I agree. I don't think they'll be the worst because, not to spoil anything, but moving on to the Washington Wizards, gentlemen, higher, lower reveal on 3, 2, 1.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They're going down. Yeah. Give us a little Wizards watch there, Justin.
Well,
how are they going to get better than the 14th seed?
So I think other teams are going to get worse. I do think the Wizards will be a little bit better. They have, in my opinion, more talent than they had last year. A little more veteran talent, along with a injection of a top 2 pick. I think Alex Sarr, while he played poorly in preseason, I don't think he's going to play poorly going forward. I think he's going to be better. I also think they're going to be better than they were last year. But I guess spoiler, like there's teams ahead of them now in the standings that I think are dropping tremendously because I think those teams are playing for something else.
Which is?
Cooper Flag.
Ah, yes.
Good thinking. John Anthony says, Cooper Flag, you are a wizard.
How depressing would that be, honestly? It
Bob,
would just
any
be
comments on the Wizards?
It'd be ridiculous. Yeah, I think losing Deni Avdija was a huge loss for them.
Where'd he go?
Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Portland.
And so when you mentioned like they didn't have the talent or veteran presence, it's funny to think that Deni Avdija had some of that in a sense because he had been there, drafted by them, and brought up in there, albeit only 2 years, but still 3 years, I think. But what Deni brought to the table was something that Şengün is currently kind of bringing to the Rockets. And I think that is a huge key that they're going to miss out on. Corey Kispert's going to be just fine. He just signed a huge deal. Hopefully he can find his role. And we haven't even talked about Kyle Kuzma. Apparently he's still a very good basketball player. Is he? That's the thing. Is he? And we don't know. So that's why I don't think the Wizards are necessarily going to get better or stay the same. I think they're going to come back down because the Pistons will win, albeit one more game than them. And Alex Sarr, hey, the jury's still out. We have yet to see the rookie do his thing. So,
how about this? Let's try to integrate a new method for this. Red means no, green means yes. Does Kyle Kuzma finish the season as a Washington Wizard? 3, 2, 1. No, I don't think.
I think so. Absolutely. It's going to be so depressing. They're going to be like, whatever, at least we got Kuzma still.
I think they dump him. I think somebody's going to come along and be like, hey, we could use him.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about this. Jordan Poole could have a resurgence.
Okay.
Because it can't get much worse.
Do you remember when it was just like, man, Jordan Poole just going to tear it up, scoring title incoming?
It looked like he was going to get up a lot of shots, and then last year, he
did.
Yeah.
He did, yeah. I think the Wizards are, I think they're going to be the worst in the league next year, and maybe not the league, but definitely the East, in my opinion. And the East is definitely the weaker of the two conferences. So, I think they'll be bad. I think the Pistons just have more young talent, and I like Bickerstaff. So I would pick the Wizards to be worse than the Pistons there. So,
but we should have a shout out to the Wizards' new head coach. Isn't that Charles Lee?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe Charles Manson, I wouldn't know.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Probably would have made news. Probably would have heard about it, but still wouldn't know. My Justin's Wizards.
Oh, sorry,
watch.
The Hornets. Sorry, he's the new Hornets. My fault.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the 13th seed from last year, the Charlotte Hornets.
There he is.
All right, so let's go higher, lower reveal in 3, 2, 1. I think they're staying the same.
Wow,
Bob and I on the
can you
same
stop?
page so far, buddy. Yeah, I think they're going to be right there. I guess I'll start. LaMelo. I foresee another. Not wishing this, of course, on him or anything, but I think that he's just kind of injury prone. I think he's his play style, his body type. I think he's just due to miss 20 plus games, or 18 to 24 games somehow in there, and he's the best thing they got going. Brandon Miller's development hopefully continues, but that's really kind of their only bright spot. And outside of those guys, I just don't see them being able to contend with some of the big dogs up top, and their division gets a little tricky as well. So I think they stay roughly the same in that 13th spot.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of there with you, despite it being, Charles Lee, a new head coach. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a change here. And the excitement around the Hornets is always, hey, just be ready for LaMelo to take that next step. Okay, yeah, he'll always be where he is. Pretty good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I've used the term pretty good for Landry Shamet before, but like LaMelo Ball is actually pretty good at basketball. You're also going to have a developmental year out of Brandon Miller, Salon, who's of course their Frenchman that they absolutely love, and then Mark Williams is just going to have another year to really just get better. So
speaking of Salon, your hair looks great today, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that. And just overall, I really like to see the Hornets just kind of use this year to develop, get everyone underneath the same umbrella, and then really move on forward next year. Could they be in the Cooper Flag lottery?
Sweepstakes, yeah.
Why not? Just do it. Why not? Like, if he ends up there, your entire franchise, your entire story could turn around. I don't see why the Hornets should try to be good this year. Use it as a developmental year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can. Were you higher or lower? I forgot.
Higher.
Higher.
I think they're moving up. Now again, I don't think they're competing for a top 6 seed. Of
course
but
not.
again, I do think they will be better because again, teams ahead of them I think will be worse. But more importantly, like with their talent, I think LaMelo Ball is really good. I think Brandon Miller is really good. I think Brandon Miller is going to potentially take another step forward. Where I think LaMelo is kind of where he's gonna be.
Yes.
Right. He might get a little better, a little more polished, but I think he's pretty much where he's gonna be.
Agreed.
Brandon Miller, on the other hand, he obviously can get better. Mark Williams being healthy, I think that's really good. They obviously have Miles Bridges, who we don't love, but he's a good player. So you go, all right, all of those things should lead to a little bit more experience, a little bit more heading forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think they think that they don't need Cooper Flag. And not like against Cooper Flag. I think they have a Brandon Miller, like, oh, we have Brandon Miller. He had flashes of being really good last year. I think they think, let's go and start being better. And I do think there is something to be said. How long can you be in the losing mindset? And I don't think, nothing against Cooper Flag, I don't think he's turnaround your franchisable. The way Victor is. I think Victor could take the most losing franchise of all time and you get him and you go, we can win now. I don't think Cooper Flag does that. And so the longer you stay losing, the more you lose your young stars mentality to win, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I agree.
that's why, but again, the bigger reason is because of the next 3 teams I think are going to get a little worse.
All right.
3 to 4 teams.
Okay, moving on to the 12 seed Toronto Raptors last year, 25-57, revealing in 3, 2, 1. I didn't reveal. I dropped my thing. I think they'll be right around the same. Yeah, I think this bottom heap is just gonna kind of mess around with each other. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna go like this.
Oh, okay.
But only by one spot, because I think we'll talk about that in a second. But I think the Raptors made an okay trade at the midway point last year, and Darko Rajakovic. You know why?
Well done.
Because Scotty Barnes is an all-star. Scotty Barnes, of course, still developing, and like he said, is an all-star. A little bit of a goofball, but he is an all-star. And
face of the league.
Yeah, maybe in Toronto. Emmanuel Quickley and
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett, thank you very much. They got some young pieces and they've got some talent. I do like what Rajakovic does with that system and the schemes up there. So I think they get a little bit better. I think they will finish better than the team that we'll be discussing here in just a moment. Bob.
Yeah, I do think they're going to about stay the same. That amalgamation of the bottom of the East is just really, it just moves up and down by 1 or 2 spots. When the games are separated by 4, wins, not a lot's going to change. But what I did like to see in the preseason were actually some Jayhawks, Grady Dick and Ochai Agbaji, actually have very good games, contributing in ways that actually led them to winning the game. That plus Emmanuel Quickley's development, still figuring out the team with RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
I really like the Raptors' direction, and I like their coach. But let's be honest, if the other teams do get worse that are ahead of them, maybe the Hornets are better than the Raptors. Maybe I'm wrong, and that just switches 1 or 2 spots, all because of like 2 games, So
I will say they are going to need Dick to be big.
Huge
for them. So
huge. You know what I mean?
Because they're really relying on Dick. So
yeah. I will say I just don't see it with them. I think you lose Pascal Siakam, and like I said, I'm on it with. I'm on there with you, Bob.
You're on Dick with them.
Yep. But I will say, I just think like Charlotte and Washington could be 1 to 2 games better than them. Like it's not. Yeah, the end of the world. I don't think it's like a jump, leaps and bounds, but I could see the Raptors falling.
10-game difference from last year.
Who?
You said Charlotte and Washington.
Yep.
So I was just saying, you think that there's a 10-game swing in there somehow
between Washington and Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Wizards are going to be. I actually do think the Wizards are going to win probably about 30-ish games.
Put that
30-ish, 30-ish, like right around 30.
Wow.
Puts them right at 12.
So they're fighting for a play-in spot, is what you're saying.
No. Because if they win 30 and the 10 seed won 36, like you're not really fighting for the play-in spot at a 6-game difference. So even if they win 30, they're still 6 games out of the play-in. Would I love it with all of my heart and soul? Yeah, but I don't see it. I do agree that out of the play-in, really 9 through 15, it's all a crapshoot. In my opinion. So like all through there, I think it all kind of changes up. Every year, I think we all kind of roll the dice and it shuffles. That's just how I feel about it. So I think it's their year. I think that these other teams aren't moving in the right direction.
I will say, and I'll just speak on what you mentioned, that 30 wins and you're not even a play-in team. The Celtics were so far and away the best team. The 11-game difference between the top seed, that shortened, like that closed. I don't believe the Celtics are going to, again, win by 11 games plus. So 14. So who's to say? Really? Oh, so who's to say?
It's in front of us.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I was looking at points per game. Not anyway. So I really see a lot of that coming back down. So a team with 30 wins could potentially be in that area.
I mean, that's true. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to New York. Brooklyn stand up. In this case, maybe sit down. The 11 seed Brooklyn Nets from last year, 32-50 is what they finished last year. Offseason moves included
Mikal Bridges.
Dumping Bridges and getting Ben Simmons back.
I think he's shooting threes.
I mean, he exists.
I saw him in a workout video.
Ben Simmons workout video right on schedule.
Bingo. All right, get those green arrows,
3,
boys.
2, 1. Yeah, I think this is probably a no-brainer for everybody. The Nets are going to suck. Cam Thomas is he's a
fantasy darling.
I think Simmons was talking about this on his show. He's a plus 400 to win the scoring title because he's going to put up so many shots.
Oh my god!
Is this the Jordan Poole trap?
I mean, yeah. So the Nets are going to be terrible, even if Ben Simmons comes back and is like exceptional, which I don't think any of us predict. I got Nick Claxton because Nick Claxton, Nick Claxton claps son.
I love Clax.
Just get some blocks and rebounds for me, my boy. We'll talk fantasy later on. My sweet YB sickos. Have no fear, Bob.
Brooklyn Nets. Good luck. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be pretty at all. Cam Thomas. I mean, your developmental guys are honestly just wasting away at this point. Like, you really have to hit the hard reset button. And I think trading Mikal Bridges was that, but it still doesn't feel like enough. It still feels like there needs to be something else. Something else needs to give. They need to have these picks. And it's like they just need to continue to just destroy.
Here's what I
down.
am kind of predicting is going to happen. Early in the season, the Brooklyn Nets are going to win some games.
Get off to a hot start.
Ben Simmons is going to look pretty good. And they're going to trade him.
Pick him up.
Because they go, see you, bye.
Finally, value.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. And I wouldn't blame them at all because I think they know this is not a team that can win anything.
I don't know that anybody bites.
Who the
on it.
fuck is going to pick up
Yeah,
Ben Simmons?
I don't know that anybody bites.
No
And
way.
any team that needs some perimeter defense and rebounding or doesn't need shooting, which is, I mean, there's a couple teams that could use that.
I just don't know that anybody. I mean, not nobody. I'm sure somebody, but I just don't. See
do
it.
the Warriors not
Does he
potentially
see-
like a Ben Simmons?
Oh, they're way too smart.
Does
of a
Ben
franchise.
Simmons
They can
remind
fix
you
him.
a little bit of Russell Westbrook in a later end of his career? Kind of like, man, who needs this guy? Maybe he's a
he's
presence
like
in the locker
27.
room. Maybe,
Somebody's going to trade for him?
but his knees aren't. His
I
body.
agree,
ain't.
but I'm just
Jesus.
saying
You know what I don't-
we're comparing.
I don't hate him. He's 28.
He's younger than me.
I don't hate him in Phoenix as just a defensive guy. They need more defense. They're
Jesus
going to need
Christ,
rebounding.
That's the last thing they need is another personality.
Which is
And just
great.
somebody who can pass the ball really well.
I don't know, man. I don't know who'd bite on him.
I don't think real contenders probably bite on him, but I do think he gets traded somewhere.
Can we get like a Suicide Squad thing in Washington going on, like Kuzma, Poole, and like Ben Simmons?
No,
like,
stop! Don't stop it.
Just accumulate all of this.
Suicide Squad.
I don't try and I
No
don't
one
try
wants
and
to get Westbrook to lead it.
bring
like,
down your teams.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
the
mean?
thing. That's the thing is
Oh,
that
man.
he's on a huge contract. John Anthony makes a good point. Is that his contract's fucked. So I don't think anybody's gonna.
Is it
Gonna
huge
soak that up.
This year, or is it huge in this year's NBA, or is it huge in yesteryear's NBA? Because this year's
It's
NBA,
still-
a
it's still
huge
huge.
contract is 50+ million.
Yeah, true.
It's still huge. It's too much for what you're getting from him. All right, let's move on to officially into the play-in spots now. The Atlanta Hawks last year were the 10 seed, finished 36-46. Offseason, they moved DeJounte Murray. They just today signed Jalen Johnson, who I think we would agree is their second best player, right?
Yeah,
Behind Trey?
I would. Yeah,
Behind Trey, to a 5-year $150.
Oh, is Larry Nance still there?
he is in New Orleans.
Nope, he got traded for DeJounte, so he'd be their second best player.
No,
Just kidding.
close.
Let's reveal on the Hawks in 3, 2, 1. Yep, same for me. I just, I mean, I think, yeah, same thing. Trey, they might get a little bit better offensively just because Trey can jack up unlimited shots and not have to worry about like sharing the ball with DeJounte or anything. Even though DeJounte was like really good for them, it's in times, but now there's like no question. We can kind of get back to what was it, 2022, that
Same old Trey.
you know, that postseason run or 21-1, whenever it was, when he took them to the conference finals, and he can just ignite, go crazy. That's what he does. Maybe win him a couple more games, but I don't see it.
I don't know. I see them going down, and I think it has a lot to do with the relationship that Quinn Snyder has with the team. I don't know. It seems like now that they really have all time to kind of figure it out and get together, he kind of folded. He was like, all right, fine, fuck it, Trey. It's your team. Like, we'll get rid of DeJounte in a way. And I don't know, obviously, because we don't know these people, but it just doesn't seem like the kind of fit that you'd want to have, especially with Clint Capella, seeing Jalen get all of this money. It just kind of, I don't know. Clint Capella has seen so many different iterations of the team as well. I just am never high on the Hawks, but I know they're going to win like 30 games at least. Maybe, yeah, allegedly a play-in team, you know, like we're saying, but I just don't see them. I don't know. I could see them taking a step back and maybe then looking in the mirror and realizing that Trey might actually be the problem.
I don't think they'll ever realize that. I think they'll pay Trey till the day he dies. But I will say, I could see them moving. I think we talked about this yesterday during the draft a little bit with Trey. That Trey Young's going to be Trey Young. I think they could move Clint Capella and move in a younger direction in that regard, which I think could come with a little bit of growing pains in that. And so, because I don't know how much you get back for Clint Capella, and so I see them staying right around the same. They're either they're gonna be 11-9, right in that, depending on what other teams kind of do, because they're not going to win a lot of games. And to be fair, they're not going to get blown out every night either. Like I think they are going to go like this, but they'll be fine. I mean, they'll be exciting to watch to a degree, but other than that, it's what it is.
All right, Chicago Bulls 9 seed, 39-43 last year. They trade, or DeMar DeRozan signs with the Kings in free agency. They are unable to move Levine. They trade away Caruso, and in exchange they get Josh Giddey. So they've now got Kobe White, and they keep Vooch, and they've got Levine coming back. and the vibes for media day were very weird.
Elaborate. I didn't see those.
Just pictures of the dudes just either looking miserable or doing TikTok dances. So it was like,
Oh, great.
what are you doing here? All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Yeah, what?
What the fuck?
They
Yeah.
could do fucking anything. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, true.
So
Lonzo Ball can carry the team.
yeah, so I think he
can't even carry his own ankle.
I think they'll be roughly the same. I think Levine will be back for a little bit. He'll have flashes of being really good, not having to share the ball as much with somebody like DeMar. Kobe White will have flashes. Vooch will have a couple really good games, but they're just the Bulls are just performing franchise malpractice right now. They just don't know what they're doing as a franchise, as a team. They just they don't have a direction. So, yeah, they'll be fighting for the play-in spots because they'll just kind of fumble their way to beating up on the shitty teams in their division.
Yeah, ever since they booed Jerry Krause's widow, I really don't give a shit about the Bulls. And ultimately, these guys deserve everything that's coming to them. It's not going to be fun. You might want to look away if you're a Chicago Bulls fan. Josh Giddey is not going to be him. You're going to end up with a lot of you're going to end up with more 1 or 2 for 7 from 3 games than you ever could anticipate. And it's going to be just as frustrating. And the fact that DeMar DeRozan is out of the building, Alex Caruso is out of the building, good luck, Bulls.
Yeah, like I said, they can go any direction to me, but not miles. They could be anywhere from 8 to 12 because I do think Lonzo Ball looks good. We'll see what he actually looks like when we get into the actual season. Yeah. Obviously, it'd be really obviously we're all rooting for Lonzo Ball. I don't think anybody. Sure. Yeah, because it's a good story. He's a good player, or he at least definitely was a good player.
Yeah.
We'll see kind of what he is. I think Zach LaVine has a resurgent season. I could see him having a really good start to the season, and then somebody panicking because their season didn't start that well and trading for Zach LaVine.
Denver Nuggets.
I mean, I don't. I mean, that man makes everybody look good. But anyway, I could just see them moving him, which could tank their season, and I could see them holding on to him and them floating around right where they're at. That's why I'm so confused as to what they're doing. I've been confused for 5 years.
Yeah.
Philadelphia 76ers 7 seed last year, 47-35. They signed Paul George in the offseason. They let Tobias Harris walk. Paul George already has
Did we skip someone?
Oh, the Miami Heat, sorry. Miami Heat 8 seed, 46-36. Big acquisition in the offseason, nothing. They did not sign Jimmy Butler's extension. Pat Riley calls out Jimmy Butler after the playoffs. Says you want to do all that media day bullshit and all that. Then he doesn't do it this year. Jimmy looks a little bit motivated. Who knows? 3, 2, 1. Reveal. I got him going up.
Okay.
I got the Heat going up.
Why?
I believe it's possible that we get a motivated Jimmy. I think he kind of wants to prove himself. I think contract years are real. We see it time and time again. A contract year player in the NBA performs better than after they've been paid. And I think Jimmy's that kind of guy. Not saying, he's only motivated financially or anything, but I think him kind of, dilly-dallying through the season the way the Heat time and time again have done, and then getting to the postseason and being like, okay, now here we go. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case this year because especially last year, it didn't work out. I think they are going to put the pedal to the metal. I think Spo's going to have a little bit more of a bite of motivation this season, and I think that's going to be there with Jimmy as well. You've got a whole offseason of development, or not necessarily development, but of meshing with the Rozier, with the Hero, with the Bam and Butler core, with all that. And also, another year of development for Jovic.
The new Triple J, Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Yes, of course. I like their team. I like their roster. They've got the best coach in the league. I think they're a little bit better, and if they stay healthy, which of course, in this equation, I think we're assuming outside of like the traditionally injury-riddled players, I think it's safe to assume that if they're healthy, they can compete throughout the regular season if they take it seriously. And I think that Jimmy Butler kind of is the barometer for that. If he takes it seriously, the rest of the team will as well. So
I think that's a good point. And honestly, it comes down to a lot of if Jimmy Butler's going to care. I have them staying the same, and I choose that because they were the 8th seed last year. They were the 8th seed the year before. And while Jimmy Butler's motivated, he's not motivated during the regular season. And I just don't see him turning that on and getting a higher seed and having an easier path to the finals, because honestly, they didn't have one 2 years ago either, and they still did it. Yeah. But they had a motivated Jimmy, so it made a difference. Also, last year, Tyler Hero, in and out. What the hell was that sort of thing? Which is exactly why whether it be injuries or whatnot, that was just a big reason why they really weren't able to do it last year. So I agree with like 99% of what you said, but it's just when Jimmy turns it on in the playoffs. But in the meantime, they're not going to go anywhere in the standings.
Yeah. Okay. Justin?
Yeah, I can't get on board with them going up because, again, I don't think they're better than any of the teams ahead of them in the standings right there. I also don't think Jimmy's good enough to propel them anymore in that regard. I just don't think he can reach the heights. I think there's at least, in my opinion, one player, like in a series, all the teams ahead of them would have the best player in the series, in my opinion. And so that's why I can't have them moving up. But I also think they're obviously better than everyone below them. So that's where I would kind of be at with that.
Wow. I'm not going to start a debate with that, but I vehemently agree with that comment. Okay, now we're on to the Sixers. They signed Paul George. He's already injured. Joel Embiid said, I'm not playing back-to-backs. They only have 15 this year. If he misses one game of every back-to-back, he can only miss 2 additional games throughout the course of the season to qualify for All-NBA and MVP and all that kind of stuff. So not that he's necessarily motivated by that, but he was at least a few years ago. So we'll see. 47 and 35 is what they finished last year. 7 seed, 3, 2, 1. I think they go up.
I was going to go up on this too, but it seems like the easy thing to say. And I was actually kind of on the fence of whether or not hitting you with the down on this one. Because we're going to see a lot... What?
There's a bug back there.
You're freaking it out!
You want me to kill it?
Go ahead.
Right,
no.
thanks.
Or just do your thing.
You said go ahead to kill it.
Yeah, talk.
Anyway, so... Yay, bugs. I just think that Philadelphia 76ers are going to be injured for like the entire season, essentially. And I don't see them winning any more games. I see them doing the exact same thing. And we're all going to get bedazzled by Paul George. And we're all going to be, whoa, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid on the court at the same time. It's going to kind of be like the Brooklyn Nets with Harden and Kevin Durant and Kyrie, thank you. It's just like, how many games are we actually going to see them all playing together? How impactful is that going to be, and how much is that actually going to translate into the regular season? I don't think it's going to translate very well into the regular season. I think they're going to stay about the same. They're at that 6-7 seed, and now we're into the nitty-gritty of the Eastern Conference last year, where it came down to like the last day on like a Tuesday, where like all games were separated, and everyone kind of fell. You could have finished second, or you could have finished sixth.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the kind of like close-knit top of the East that it was.
Right.
So even saying the Sixers are going to stay the same at the 7 seed, they're still going to have just about the same record as almost everyone else above them. So
yep.
That's from. I think they just eke it out. I think they just eke out ahead of a couple of teams ahead of them. I'm not as concerned necessarily with the injuries in that regard. I think Paul George is going to be fine. You get banged up a little bit, but like, I don't think Paul George is going to miss 50 games. I don't think Joel Embiid's like. I think he got his MVP, so that satiated that, like, why don't I win MVP thing? So I think that isn't as big of a concern for him, but I also still think if he plays 60 games for them this year, like, he's a very impactful player for over 60 games. So while he might not be an All-NBA or an MVP or DPOY, it never is, but you know what I mean? Like, he's still so impactful, and Tyrese Maxey is still getting better. He's one of the best young players in the league.
Yep.
No, we've been saying that forever. I say forever, but we've been saying that for a couple of years now, but he's still amazing. I think Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid by themselves, with kind of an amalgamation of players around them, can win a decent amount of games. I think when Joel Embiid goes out, I think Paul George is in, and Paul George is better than, help me out, Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
So like, if that's your upgrade, I go, okay, you're gonna win a couple more games than you did last year with Tobias Harris. That's how I would look.
Pending availability.
You swap Tobias Harris for an All-NBA level player, you're going to get better.
Yep.
Number 6 seed Indiana Pacers, 47-35. They extend Pascal Siakam in the offseason. Other than that, really no big acquisitions. 3, 2, 1. I gotta go like that for the Pacers, just because if the Sixers are gonna go up, or the Heat are gonna go up, the Pacers are gonna have to slip a little bit. I still think they'll be in the mix there, like you said. Now we're kind of getting to the slop of everything's so tight up at the top between the 8 to the 2 seed, right? That nothing against the Pacers, they're gonna be really good. They're gonna break records offensively, I'm sure, again and again and again, pace wise. And Hallie will be amazing. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully he can stay at that IST level offensive performance. But yeah, I think they'll take a slight dip from last year.
I've got them just moving up one, because it's just 1 or 2 games separating these guys. I do see them going up. Pascal Siakam is now fully integrated into the team. Rick Carlisle is still an outstanding coach. I think in the East, he is a top 3 coach in the East with Spo and Missoula. So I really like the way that they do things. I like the way he works. And I enjoy watching them play. I think Tyrese Halliburton and the gang will do very well. We'll see jumps from Nimhard. We'll see hopefully a jump from Eggs Benedict. Because, of course, he was injured last year for a good portion of the season, so hopefully he can take a step forward. I'm very, very hopeful for the team, and, yeah, Miles Turner going into his 10th year in Indiana, so go Pacers.
Speaking of jumps, I think the Indiana Pacers are going to move a little down just because I think the jump in the amount that people take them seriously this year, because they were a little bit of a surprise last year. I think people are going to go, oh, this team has a Tyrese Halliburton, and they really go for it. And they now they have Pascal Siakam. They look at them a little more seriously than they did last year. So I think they're going to get closer to people's best game on a night-to-night basis. Yeah. And I think necessarily, it'll be fun to see if Tyrese's game elevates to that. I think it can. I think he's obviously really good. But I this is not the Eastern Conference of 10 years ago. I think it's a very hard Eastern Conference after those, for the top 8 seeds. Like, I think that's going to be a rough situation, and it could go either way. But I think they drop a spot maybe, because I still see the Heat at the 8. So like if they drop 1 because the Sixers are moving up, I'm like, okay, that's just the 1 drop. It's not like a crazy thing.
Orlando Magic, 47-35, 5 seed. KCP from Denver signs there. Another year of Paolo, another year of Franz. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna keep them where they're at. Yeah.
I like where they're at.
I think the East stays tough, but I think these boys are getting better. I need Franz to remember how to shoot again. The last third of the season and the playoffs was rough, but I think Paolo booms. I think Franz gets better. I think KCP is a big addition. I like what they got going there. Jamal Mosley's got them defensively humming. I'll keep them at the 5 spot.
Yep, kind of where I'm at too. I like what they've done. The addition of KCP is championship level player. Paolo's obviously an all-NBA dude who can just absolutely kick ass. So, yeah, Jalen Suggs signed his extension. So, Orlando in a good position moving forward. And I love Jamal Mosley.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic.
I think we're looking at Jamal Mosley Coach of the Year situation, because I think they are going to move up multiple spots. I think a jump from Paolo is going to be really interesting, because I think he could potentially jump into a top 12 player in the world situation. I think the addition of KCP with multiple titles under his belt, I think all that combined with a couple teams up ahead of them falling a little bit. But I think that they are going to go out, and I don't think that people take them as seriously as the Indiana Pacers, even though the Magic finished ahead of them, because I think people look at Tyrese Halliburton, and I think rightfully so probably at this point in time, as better than Paolo Banchero. But that's why I think they're still falling into the surprise team situation, and their defense is gnarly.
Yeah.
Number 4, Cleveland Cavaliers, 48-34 last year. They keep the band together, and Donovan Mitchell says, hey, I never wanted to leave. What do you mean? Hopefully they stay healthy this year around, and they figure it all out. We're still waiting on the Mobley jump. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go down.
I'm staying.
Going down a little bit.
I like that they brought it back together,
I do too, but it's just, I don't know.
And hey, we haven't seen it work out yet, but it doesn't mean that this couldn't be the last year that it could come together.
It's just a vibe for me. I don't know. I just don't love it.
Not true.
It's stagnant. It's what are you doing? You're not moving trending in the right direction. Your best player is not getting better. Right, he's just plateauing, which is he's young, but he's not like ascending. But and then your other players like Mobley could be really good. The problem is we've seen flashes of it.
28.
Kind of. But like, is he going to take the jump, or is he just going to kind of be just a really good guy, not a great guy?
He's
You know what I
breaching
mean?
into that territory of like, okay, we know who you are by now. You're not fooling anybody. He has 1 year left to prove that, and I'm completely out on Evan Mobley. Even last year, I was like kind of out, but like now I'm like, okay, everyone's sticking together. You're getting one more shot at this essentially with Donovan Mitchell. He's not going anywhere. Let's do it. And I think Jared Allen is still outstanding, and I think he's a perfect fit on that team. I just don't want to see him get the short end of the stick because everyone thinks Evan Mobley can still be good when it's clear that he hasn't proven anything beyond that.
Milwaukee Bucks 3 seed, 49-33. They don't really do much in the offseason, including Giannis and Dame apparently not even getting together once in the offseason. Giannis competes in the Olympics. Hopefully they all get healthy. Hopefully they're healthy in the postseason. 3, 2, 1. Hang on, I'm going down. Just another year of Dame getting older. Another year of Doc coaching the team.
What is there to be excited about?
Brooke Lopez aging again. Chris Middleton's ankles are
He doesn't even have ankles.
Thanos dusted, and I just don't trust it. And I think the Sixers are going to be in that spot. So
I just read the room. Like the Bucks.
Read the room, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, please just do something. Like it just looks so bad on the outside that I can't be convinced that it actually is going to be good.
Yeah.
I just don't think Damian Lillard was a great player last year the way that he has been. And if this is turning into like an Aaron Rodgers situation, it could be pretty bad pretty quick. And we are watching the decline, but we're ignoring it. That is something that can be very... Dame. It could be very concerning. So if we aren't as careful as we are with, the Bucks could do all these things and win another... Dude, I don't think they're going to win 50 games. I don't think they're going to win 46 games, actually.
Okay. I look at it as another year of continuity. I think you're a year now removed from divorce if you're Dame, so like maybe that's getting a little bit better for your life. Dame apparently looks in really good shape coming into the season. So maybe he's just reinvigorated after having a bad season and kind of like, oh, okay, I'm a different person. Than obviously going through personal things. I don't think that the issues that you guys have raised with them, obviously Brooke Lopez is a little older. Obviously Chris Middleton doesn't have ankles. But I think a Giannis revenge tour, like I just think
we've been waiting on the Giannis revenge tour for 3 years now.
Yeah. I mean, and he had an all-time offensive season just the other year, just I think 2 years ago, if not last year. The dude is a monster. Like he's a freak for a reason. That's what they call him. So I could see them moving up to, again, this just says more about who is ahead of them versus who is behind them, I guess.
Number 2, New York Knicks. They trade away Julius Randle and DDV after acquiring. They get the Nova Knicks, and then they said, "Psych,
never mind.
See ya, DDV.
Oh, see ya.
See ya, Julius Randle." They bring in Cat. They bring in
Mikal Bridges.
Thank you so much, Mikal Bridges, who apparently in the offseason developed a hitch in his shot and can't shoot anymore. Very weird. But the New York Knicks, 50-32 last year. 3, 2, 1. They're going to be right there, I think. The second best team in the East to me. I don't necessarily think it's close. I think they're going to be the best number 2. The only thing I could see is a couple, some ironing out of just some chemistry stuff. But Tibbs is going to have that team humming. OG and Mikal and Cat. That's going to be a strong defensive core. Not that Cat is some behemoth defensively, but he big.
Yeah, if I see a team that is out there with Cat, Mitchell,
we don't know about Mitchell.
Yeah, that's the thing. But if you have Cat, Mitchell, OG, dude, right there already, I'm pretty scared defensively. And then you just throw in a couple other, also they're huge wing defenders that they have that I'm missing out on. Oh, Mikal Bridges. Thank you. Yeah. That's a scary defensive team, and that can really go blows with Boston Celtics. So I really am looking forward to those games going forward, and they can go big if they want, and they still have like the strongest little guy on the team, and I just think that's the coolest thing. So go Knicks, they'll stay in the middle. Go New York, go.
I'm caught in this weird place because with that Julius Randle trade, with the Cat trade, I was like, oh yeah, both teams kind of got what they wanted, but in a different situation. Like I think the Julius situation was, he was like, this was my team, and now you young guys are here. So I think that's a weird dynamic. I also think in Minnesota, a little bit, that was the same thing with Cat. This was my team, and now you younger people, or you people at least who weren't here before I was, are now here, and it's your team. That seems it's a little awkward.
That's not the case in New York. He knows it's not his team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think that is a positive. I don't think that Karl Anthony Towns plays basketball anywhere near the way that Tom Thibodeau would like a person to play basketball.
Yeah,
I don't think he has a motor. I don't think he wants to play 82 games for 48 minutes. I don't think he wants to do any of that. Not that he doesn't want to play games, and not that he's going to get injured and miss games. I just don't think that he wants to play as much and as hard as a Tibbs would like you to play. I also think a little bit of the little engine that could of Jalen Brunson, while he's playing amazing, I think, how long is it sustainable for a small guy to play at that level?
The way he plays too.
Yeah, like
true.
not an injury way. I think just legitimately your luck kind of runs out a little bit. Not that it's luck. He obviously works hard and he's really great. But I don't see it. I think you've added basically 2 of your 5 starters are brand new to the team. I guess really 3.
OG was there halfway through the year.
OG was halfway through the year. So like you're new-ish to the team. So you do need to build chemistry. Now you're going to get a lot of time to build chemistry because you're going to play a bunch of minutes. But I just don't see it. I see them taking a little bit of a step back because I think there's going to be hiccups. Would be maybe the thing there.
I think they can't be clicky because the Nova Knicks are no longer the Nova Knicks.
Well, they never existed though.
Never existed really. They can't because there's established friendships with like Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, you know what I mean? Like the new guys coming in, they have to incorporate them. They have to all work together in that sense. And if they don't, then that's the way they slip down, is if they don't fully incorporate and integrate Cat into their normal lives.
I have no reason not to believe Dante DiVincenzo when he yells at Rick Brunson, saying that you did this, you're the problem, and then think that one of the most sensitive guys to go there is Cat, and he's not going to see some of that and get pissy about it. I could kind of see that happening.
But if he buys in, though.
If.
All right, number 1 seed Boston Celtics. I don't think there's much to question here. 64-18. They won the motherfucking title in very convincing fashion. Their offseason somehow won a title and had a tumultuous offseason. Most of the time, it's the disease of more, as Simmons was talking about. But they, Brown was pissed about not being selected for Team USA. Tatum was benched for Team USA. Not enough, promotion or coverage or whatever. So Boston Celtics reveal 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
I think they get better, man.
Yeah,
I
somehow.
think they've got a chip on their shoulder. I can't believe it. It's most of the time you win a title and you're like, cool, we get to chill now. Look how good we were last season. I'm scared of these Celtics, man.
Jesus Christ.
Porzingis is going to miss probably the first 2 months of the year. I think it's safe to say. But they're going to come out with a fire, and I'm scared of the Celtics. I think they're going to go fucking nuclear.
Yeah, you got Joe Mazzulla. You got them watching Orca tape. Like, that is just so fucking sick to me. And I think Jaylen Brown, I don't know. Listen, I've been waiting to make my prediction for MVP, but it's Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have an MVP season.
We are going to talk about MVP. So.
It's wild. Just put it out there now.
My down arrow is I don't think they're going to win as many games as they won last year. I think they're still going to be the 1 seed. I think they do come out with a little bit of we can win games, or we don't have to win 64 games, so we do kind of need to take some nights off. Because Jason Tatum hasn't stopped playing basketball since I guess the Olympics, which really wasn't that long ago. And then obviously Drew and obviously Derek White. Drew's a little older. I think the
2.5 months
missing of KP is actually a lot when Al Horford is yet another year older. So I think they're going to be really good. I just don't see them coming out with the same fire that you guys see.
But they're going to be the 1 seed.
Oh yeah, they're going to be the 1 seed.
Right.
I think they're going to win 60 games out of 64, whatever.
Western Conference, starting with the Portland Trailblazers. We got to speed things up unless you guys want to be here for 3 hours.
We'll be faster. Sorry.
All right, Portland Trailblazers, 15 seed last year, 21-61. Not much to say.
No.
Got Denny Avdia, I guess.
Yeah.
Scoot Henderson's still there. 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry. Yep, there we go.
You could go down pretty easily.
Yeah, they're going to be the worst team in the West, if not the league. San Antonio Spurs, 14 seed, 22 and 60. They signed Chris Paul to accompany their young generational talent, Victor Wembanyama, as well as Harrison Barnes they pick up. And they extend Devin Vassell, and they bring back a healthy... that one dude. So you got some guys.
Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson. Thanks so much.
I knew it wasn't so handled.
San Antonio Spurs, 14 seed, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, no brainer here. Wemby's going to get better. Chris Paul throwing lobs to him. Kind of not a question mark there, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. That locker room with those veterans.
I mean, they won 22 games last year. They're going to be.
You could tell me they're in the playoffs, and I'd believe you.
I would too.
Yeah, I think they're going to be absolutely fighting for play-in spot for sure. I don't necessarily think they're on the 6th seed, but I think they'll be in the conversation for a play-in seed. Okay, Memphis Grizzlies, they were the 13 last year, riddled with injuries all year last year, 27 and 55. They bring back a healthy and unsuspended Ja Morant. In the regular season last year, they traded away Steven Adams. They draft Zach Edey in the draft this year. They get Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, Luke Kuechly. What the fuck?
What? Hey, legend.
Luke Kennard.
He can win you a playoff.
He can win you a playoff series. It's known to be true.
Incoming.
Memphis Grizzlies, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, this is also a no-brainer. Does anybody disagree with me that they're going to be fighting for the play-in, or not the play-in, the playoffs? Like they're going to be a top 6. You think they're going to be in the top 6 mix there?
That's dependent on Zach Edey. I think completely. I think if he can really, and Brandon Clark also coming back off of that
Achilles
injury that
Achilles
we saw live, actually, gentlemen.
What?
Oh yeah, we saw that injury when he was in Denver. That's when he injured himself. Brandon Clark did.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
We were so focused on the gun.
Yeah, I remember this. And then after that, that's when Ja went to the strip. Yeah, this outstanding.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyway, so we literally saw his last game. He was on the team. So yeah, they're gonna get better, no doubt about it. But I think they'll still be they'll be a playing team. I don't think they'll fight for the 6.
Oh, I think they're fighting for 4. I think they're going to be really good. We forget they were really good
They had the best record the year before.
Yeah, I think they're a home court playoff team for sure.
Utah Jazz, 31-51, didn't do anything. It was marketing. It was the marketing Warriors, marketing Thunder, marketing Warriors, marketing Thunder, marketing Lakers, marketing Pelicans, marketing. Nothing happened to marketing. They didn't make a goddamn move and didn't do a goddamn thing. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they're going down. They're going down.
Very intentional going down. You know they want Flag. That's all they care about.
Cooper Flag and Larry Marketing together? Woof.
Could be good.
All right. Houston Rockets.
With the Mormons?
The 11th seed last year, 41-41. They were really making a run there in the post-All-Star season, post-All-Star stretch. What was they? They were 12-0 post-All-Star, and then things kind of crumbled. They were really in the mix there for a little bit. What was that? That was the
March basketball.
It was
weird.
Spurs, Dallas, and Rockets were all undefeated for like 12 days. None of them lost a game or something, and then the Rockets started to crumble.
Basketball.
Of course, they lost Şengün to injury in the later half of the year, and then Jalen Green exploded. They bring in Reed Shepherd in the draft, and a whole lot of youth there for Ime Udoka's team. Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1.
This really sucks. I wanted to give them the green.
This is where, me too. This is where it starts to get, the conference is just so fucking thick.
I love this team.
Big conference.
So of retention from last season to this season, they had the highest retention of any team. They kept almost everybody top to bottom on their team. I mean, we're talking they maybe only lost 1 or 2 players. Like, it is such a good core, and they all work together, and it just looks great. And Ime Udoka is a legit coach, so I really wanted to give them the green on that. Oh, it hurts, but they're awesome.
Too much talent. Too much talent in the league.
Moving on to Bob's number 10, Golden State Warriors. They were 46-36 last year. The Splash Bros are no more. Klay Thompson goes to Dallas. They bring in Buddy Hield and Bob's favorite guy, Kyle Anderson.
Oh!
They bring in slow-mo. Steph, of course, legendary top 10 player ever, probably. Still there, of course. Curry wins gold in dramatic fashion in France in the summer. They were the 10 seed last year. 3, 2, 1. again, this is where it's going to start getting tricky. The conference is just so messy. I like Buddy Hield over Clay, not necessarily defensively, but also Clay is not what he once was defensively. Yep. Steph's still there. Can't doubt him, but they'll be fighting for the play-in, I think.
Yeah, there was a bit of a Moneyball thing with them, like, oh, we don't have Klay Thompson, but we can rebuild him in the aggregate. Gets Buddy Hield and then gets Kyle Anderson, who is a pretty good ball handler, granted. And just to be clear, I did get busted for some mild tampering in the offseason because I was trying to reverse tampering and get Kyle Anderson off the team as opposed to getting him on the team. So like a reverse Joel Embiid sort of thing. Yeah, I got busted for that, unfortunately.
Anything on the Warriors?
I don't think they're gonna. I guess they're gonna say the same, but like I could see them falling because if I think Memphis is going up, I think Memphis is jumping the Warriors. So by just definition, I feel like they have to fall.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see great. But then again, I had this thought. You could tell me if you came back in a time machine. In 2 seconds from now, and you said, Justin, here's how the season ends. The Warriors make the play-in, and the Warriors make the playoffs through the play-in, and then Steph Curry and Buddy Hield can't miss a fucking three-pointer for fucking 2 months, and they won the title. I'd go, I could buy that.
Oof.
I could buy
If
it.
Andrew Wiggins was your second best player in 22, it's like Buddy Hield could be your second best player in 25.
I could buy Steph Curry drags the team to a title. I could buy it. But
With
I
this
don't think
Western
it's going to
Conference,
happen.
Whoa.
But like,
holy
if
shit.
he's hitting everything from,
I would have so many questions. I would say how many ACLs were torn in the regular season. Okay, Sacramento Kings. They sign DeMar DeRozan. Bring back, of course, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray. So Sacramento Kings, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna go same again.
I think I'll give them the up. I'll finally give the up on the Kings because of the DeMar addition. I think that's awesome. I think Sabonis is going to have an even better year than he had last year. I think De'Aaron Fox is still a top 5 guard in the league. Like, he is so effing good when he's great. And when that team is at its full offensive capabilities, holy shit! Like, you still have Ivy who can still just
Who?
Jaden Ivey?
Is it Jaden Ivey? No, Keegan Murray. Thank you.
There it is.
When you have Keegan Murray who can still put up 11 shots and hit 7 out of 11 for 3, you're gonna win a lot of fucking games. During the regular season. So that's the only reason I haven't gone up.
Oh, it's a big story, brother. The Los Angeles Lakers were the 8th seed last year, 47 and 35.
Someone again.
I thought there was a tweet we missed. I was like, what's happening?
Los Angeles Lakers 8th seed, 47.
Oh no, he didn't.
What?
We didn't.
Why am I looking at the wrong thing?
I don't know.
Why aren't you looking at the screen that's right here?
Right in front of you.
I have multiple screens.
Okay. 47 and 35 last year. They fire Darvin Ham, Mr. Hands in Pockets. They bring in J.J. Redick, first-time head coach. They sign Bronny James and Dalton Knecht through the draft.
Should go the other way.
And pretty much no other offseason acquisitions. LeBron James will turn 40 this regular season. Anthony Davis, of course, still there. So 3, 2, 1. I know.
Oh, first time. Everyone's different.
I know. I just think, here's the deal. I really think that JJ is going to be a massive improvement. The amount of times watching Lakers games last year that it was just like, please call a play, and Darvin just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And JJ immediately already is just like such a more advanced basketball mind offensively. I really think it's going to make a difference. Even if it's just rotations and like, hey, the guys that made the Western Conference Finals last year maybe should play some fucking minutes together, that Darvin Ham just refused to do because he just like wanted to make a point. I think that's going to make a big difference. The Bronny James thing is not real. They're going to have their moment for the first 10 games. Send him to the G League. Let's get that over with. Dalton Knecht is going to be a big addition. I do think he will be the steal of the draft in my opinion. And LeBron's LeBron, barring injury. He's not. I don't foresee. I think we can probably agree him falling off a cliff at any point. His progression will be gradual, and so even if it is gradual progression down statistically at least. He's still going to be like a top 15, 20 player in the league. So, I think they get a touch better. Maybe if it's just a 7 seed. So.
Well put, Michael.
Oh, yeah, I see them falling. But again, this is strictly because, again, the Grizzlies, I think, are shooting up. I also see the Kings being a little bit better than the Lakers. because I guess I don't see the same things you do. I don't think Bronny James plays the G League at all. I don't think he plays great minutes. I just think he is on the Lakers roster. That's all. I don't hate that. I don't hate him being there either. It is what it is. I don't see it. A year older. Their defense wasn't great last year. Their offense was good, but again, this conference is so tough. So
Conference is tough.
I look at this conference has like 4, maybe 5 like really good defensive teams, and so if your defense can't really stop anybody, but they can kind of stop you, then like you're kind of at a loss there.
Well, I think if you get the other thing is they weren't really healthy all year last year. You know, missing Vando, missing
Vincent.
Thank you, Gabe Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were never healthy. Christian Wood wasn't healthy. Those 3 guys were never healthy together, and those are going to be guys that fill out their 9-man rotation throughout the regular season. So I think if those pieces are all healthy, with JJ Redick being able to actually experiment and actually play those guys properly, and now they have picks that they can actually trade again. Will they with a 40-year-old LeBron? I don't know, but you guys are talking about Capella. They could use a center.
Yeah,
it's doable.
If he makes adjustments and like let's call them experimental lineups, and they don't work, are we gonna hate JJ Redick the same way we hate Darvin Ham for trying different things? Like,
yes.
No, because,
you know what I mean?
Because Darvin Ham would try something, it wouldn't work, and he would continue to go back to it. I think JJ's smart enough to be like, that sucked, let's not do it.
Fair enough.
Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
New Orleans Pelicans, they bring in DeJounte Murray. They get rid of the second best player on the Hawks.
Oh yeah, Larry Nance.
Zion looks good. Zion looks ripped. Woo! And let's hope he plays as many games as he did last year. 70. He played 70 games last year. You know that.
Yeah.
70 games. So let's hope he plays that many because he's on my fantasy team. So 49-33 last year, 7 seed New Orleans Pelicans. I got him in the same spot. Oh, different again.
Wow.
Going down. Got him in the same spot. I think
you're doing this on purpose.
I think there's turmoil with Ingram.
Yeah.
Hope he gets traded.
I think there's health. I think there's always going to be health with the Pelicans. You just don't know. And plus the Ingram thing, and plus just being the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know, figuring out roles for CJ McCollum was really difficult. You know what I mean? And Herb Jones is great, and Trey Murphy just signed his extension. Valanciunas is still there, right? So it's just a...
No, Chun is in Washington.
Okay, that's right. Thank God. Okay, so it's what a weird team, in my opinion.
I think they're going to get better. I think, again, they were really good just a couple years ago. I think when you're at DeJounte Murray, I think he didn't like playing in Atlanta, and that's fair. Maybe him and Trey didn't like playing with each other.
CJ's not a point guard.
But CJ's not a point guard, right? He plays best off the ball.
Exactly.
I do think they do need to figure out the Brandon Ingram situation. I just don't think he fits with the team. I don't think there's animosity. I don't think they don't like each other.
Sure.
But I do think they move him at some point in time. But even if they don't, we talked about this just yesterday. Zion himself was going to beat the Lakers in that playing game. I think. I
don't remember that.
Okay. That again, I see them being better. Young, hungry team, heading in the right direction. I think that they just get a little bit better.
And a young, hungry team is better than a young, hungry child.
UNICEF. 10 cents a day.
Sponsored by UNICEF. Thank you. All right. 6 seed Phoenix Suns, 49-33. Did they do anything in the offseason?
Added Tyus Jones.
I like that.
Don't hate it.
2, 1. I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same.
Yeah.
KD, Bradley Beal. Maybe Bradley Beal plays more than fucking 30 games.
I think so. Maybe he finds a more defined role.
Maybe it's better if he doesn't with Tyus Jones coming in.
Maybe a fucking point guard helps.
Yeah.
What if the only position that's existed for the entirety of basketball and has been there the whole fucking time is important? Who would have thought? Kevin Durant, of course, still there. Hopefully Kevin Durant's healthy. Devin Booker, Bob and I kind of mentioned this during the draft yesterday. Outside odds, dark horse MVP candidate Devin Booker, and I hope he is that because he's also on my fantasy team. Dallas Mavericks, 5 seed, 50-32 last year, made a finals run, lost in 5 games. I think most teams probably would have looked in a different class than the Celtics were in the finals, but of course you bring back Luka, you bring in Klay Thompson, and you bring back Spencer Dinwiddie, and you still got Luka, you still got Kyrie, so the 5 seed Dallas Mavericks, 3, 2, 1. I'm going up on the Mavs. I think they're going to be a little bit better in the regular season, and we'll talk about why in just a minute because Luka Doncic is.
Yeah, I think they're still going to win 50 games, and I think it still keeps them at the 5 seed at least. If there's the Suns move up, the Clippers move down, Mavs stay the same. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way that I see it moving. They're going to be just
Clippers
fine.
Stay the same?
No.
I mean, the Suns stay the same?
No, I said they go up.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see that. I apologize.
So I just think that's the way that's going to fold. It's nothing against anyone on the team. I think it's great that they're going to have another year together with PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. Derek Lively is going to take another jump forward. I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump at all. Despite through all the adversity that he went through last year, he was still outstanding in the playoffs as a rookie and made contributions. So I'm a huge Derek Lively guy. And I think with him, Luka, Kyrie's still great, fine.
He didn't show up in the finals.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Yeah, very Kyrie. So just saying, I think they'll stay the exact same thing.
I think they'll get better because I think they're young and vibrant at the right positions to be young and vibrant at, that other teams are old and slow at. Meaning Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford. I think they'll get out and they'll go and run. I don't need Kyrie Irving to run up and down the court. I don't need Luka's not going to do that. I don't need Klay to run up and down the court, really. I need Klay just to kind of be open. And then there you go. That's all I need him to be. That's why I think they're going to get a little better because I think Luka's smart enough to use a Klay Thompson very effectively.
Yeah. Year 7 for Luka.
Damn.
The year that Michael Jordan won his first title. Los Angeles Clippers, they were the 4 seed last year, 51-31. They let Paul George go. Kawhi Leonard's knees, also Thanos snapped. He got booted from Team USA after 5 days of being in Vegas.
LeBron's like, fuck out of here.
They said, oh no, you are not. Grant Hill said, no, this ain't not going to work. See you later. We'll take Derek White over you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. This is a no-brainer for all of us, obviously. Yeah, they're going to be. Are they going to be anywhere near the play-in? Do any of us think?
Dude.
Oh, I think actually, yes.
You think they'll be in the play-in?
I think they'll probably be somewhere in the 7 to 9 range. Because Ty Lue's a really good coach. And what happens when James Harden has a bunch of role players around him? He puts up a lot of points. And I don't know if you know, Shannon, the Houston Rockets won a bunch of damn games.
Brother, this is not 2017.
Christ.
I'm not saying it is, but I know that Ty Lue's a really good coach.
I
and
agree.
I think he's a better coach than Mike D'Antoni. So I look at that, and they've got wings. And while Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely on my IR slot, I would assume would come back at some point in time to raise them up a little bit. If you came back in a time machine, just 2 seconds ago, and you told me the Clippers snuck into the playoffs and Kawhi Leonard was healthy for the playoffs and they went on a run the same way the Raptors did,
I still don't want this.
I'd believe you.
I wouldn't.
John Anthony just said, this is random, but I just learned I'm meeting the president and getting 3 minutes to ask him questions, then going to the Celtics opening night. That's so bizarre. That's out of the blue.
What?
Why does
Congratulations.
Biden want to ask you
Yeah,
questions?
that's very. That's
Who
really
are
cool.
you? Are you going to talk about us? Can you plug the
Yeah, please be like. As while I was listening to my favorite podcast, Yay Basketball, they brought up the basketball game show. They brought up a good point.
Minnesota Timberwolves, they were the 3 seed, 56-26. They made a conference finals run. They trade Cat. They bring in Julius Randle and DDV. Big offseason, another offseason development for Ant. Ant wins gold. Learns from the 3 goats in the offseason in the Olympics. Reveal 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
You're going down?
Oh, never mind. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah, for sure.
I really love the DDV acquisition. No more question marks, no more worries. That is, you have fully put the key to the team and the city in Ant's hands.
Yeah.
It is your team. Go ahead, my boy. He gets a little ball stoppy from time to time. That plus Randall makes me a touch nervous offensively, but Chris Finch is a fucking genius. I have no fear that with him, Randall and
Rudy.
Yeah.
Jaden.
Nas Reed.
Thank you,
There
Nas
it is.
Reed. They will figure out the balance of power when it comes to that position. So yeah, I've got them as the 2 seed.
I love this team, and I definitely think that they move up above the Nuggets here. Going into the next season, the acquisition of Dante DiVincenzo is such a fuck you. He's going to be on one of those tours like we already saw in New York. I'm so excited for that. Not only that, but Ant's energy is going to feed into that and actually going to amplify it. Julius Randle is an all-NBA player. he is outstanding. And I think he was undervalued for a good amount of time because he's just injured. And so when you get him in a position where he can actually be in a great rotation with Rudy Gobert, another complement of big, and he's just taking different shots than Cat was. And Cat, sure, spread the floor, but he was it the right thing to do with his size? I don't know. So if you have someone with the size, and I'll say that because Tibbs hated the fact probably that when Cat got the rebound underneath the basket, he ran out to the 3-point line and shot a shot and missed it. You're not going to get that bullshit out of Julius Randle. You're going to get someone who's going to get the ball in the paint and go back up with it, draw fouls, and be better at what essentially a big man is supposed to do. And I think that's going to complement Rudy and Nas and the rest of the team so much better that they'll be able to throw out these huge lineups and be outstanding. So I absolutely think the Timberwolves move up.
Agreed.
I think they're going to fall a little bit because, again, hiccups and things. I don't think Dante DiVincenzo is enough of an addition to win you higher seeding in this conference. I do think Julius Randle occupies a lot of the same space that Rudy Gobert occupies. While I think that Julius Randle is a better creator offensively than Cat, I do think he does clog the lane a little more.
Yes.
And who doesn't shoot amazingly from three? Your star 2 guard.
Yes.
Who likes the paint? Your star 2 guard. So you do clog that a little bit. I do think the growing pains will kind of be there, a la when the growing pains were there when they added Rudy. And they didn't go win all the games in the world. They were still good, but they didn't immediately jump up the way I thought they would have. Like, I was like, I was all in. They're adding Rudy Gobert. This is going to be great. He's a walking top 10, top 5 defense. I think they're going to be great defensively. I just think offensively, we're going to see a lot of the same issues because I don't think that they really solved their half-court offense. Because I just don't think that Julius Randle's enough of a half-court offense person. And then Dante DiVincenzo is more of a catch-and-shoot guy. Like, he's not going to get people involved, and he's not going to get his own shot that well. He is reliant on somebody else, and I just think unless Anthony Edwards' playmaking upticks, because he's going to have the ball in his hands, it's going to be rough for them to really. They're going to get back to around where they're at. Between 3 and 5. I just don't see them jumping to 2 or 1.
2 words. Just remember this: Rob Dillingham. Remember that name.
I like that a lot.
He's going to be a player for them.
And when everyone calls the T-Wolves crazy last year for giving Naz Reid all that money, remember everyone's like, why are you paying 3 centers all this money?
That's why.
That's why it worked.
All right, the number 2 seed last year, Denver Nuggets, because of Victor Wembanyama, changed the course of history over the course of a 10-minute stretch. Who knows? If Wemby doesn't go crazy in that last game of the regular season, maybe the Nuggets are the 1 seed, maybe they play the Mavericks, maybe they win instead of going up against the Wolves. And maybe they go win another title. Who knows? Maybe KCP stays. Maybe everything changes. Maybe everything's different. Instead, KCP walks. Jamal Murray has a terrible summer in the Olympics. He still gets a max extension, as of course you have to. A little subtraction by addition, if you will, by bringing in Russell Westbrook. And who is the guy that they Dario Saric? Dario Saric is a good addition for sure. And still have
He's already there, wasn't he?
No.
I thought I got the trade deadline. Sorry.
Saric was an off-season thing. And of course, still have Jokic, top 1 or 2 player in the league. So, Denver Nuggets, 3, 2, 1. Things are trending down for the Nugs, my boys. I'm a little nervous about Jamal. I'm a little worried about what the Westbrook minutes are going to mean for them. Jokic is going to be amazing. We know this. He's going to be on a masterclass. He always is. Everything he does is incredible. But piece by piece, it's just one at a time. They keep losing all the guys, not all the guys, but a lot of their influential and important pieces from the 2022 title, 2023 title, 2023 title.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to start to show to rear its ugly head. KCP was huge for them in the title run and last year in the regular season, just generally for the last couple of years. Defensively, obviously shooting the ball, losing him was a big deal. So I think that they will start to see that. I love Scooter Braun. I love Christian Braun, but I just don't think that he's at the level of a KCP, who's obviously a veteran. He's a champion. And I don't think you can expect the same level of output, whether it be shooting-wise or defensively, that a KCP can bring you.
Yeah, here's the case for Christian Braun. He's won at high school, collegiate, and the NBA level already in such a young career that he's had. He's coming off a sophomore slump. It's tough to imagine that someone like that is actually going to give you what KCP gave you during the regular season. I don't think the Westbrook thing is going to work the way that Jokic hopes it's going to work out. I think it's great that he's integrated in the team and everyone loves him and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, this team is cheap. The ownership made it very clear that they're not willing to pay the people at the right time, and they're not willing to pay them the amount of money that they want. Sure, Jamal Murray finally got his deal done, but it's kind of finally. And now they're looking at Aaron Gordon being like, all right, sign this. And it's like, all right, well, now we want to have a conversation as to how much we should pay Aaron Gordon. It's like,
So they paid him today.
They paid him today. Okay, yeah.
$133 million.
There you go. And so, like, that's the sort of thing that you have to negotiate with your team and figure out beforehand, before you go into the season, before you have these practices. And they were just holding out and they were just kind of sitting on their hands and just being cheap. So I don't like the Nuggets ownership group not taking care of business. When you have a championship roster, you're supposed to keep it together and move it going forward.
So, if by being cheap you mean not paying everybody and selling your team the way the Celtics ownership group did, I guess I agree. But I will say this: you know who never won back-to-back titles? Tim Duncan's Spurs. When Bruce Bowen leaves, a la KCP, they still go win titles. They still go make it happen. I don't see this team falling.
You're calling Malone Popovich.
Nope, I'm calling Jokic, potentially Duncan. And I don't think that's necessarily a stretch to say that. In the event of he's such a great player, right? We talked about it earlier. He makes everyone look amazing. He makes Jamal Murray look amazing, and then now he has a little slump. I assume he's going to make him look amazing again because he's shown me he can do that. He makes Aaron Gordon go from we were like, oh my god, this guy's a bust in Orlando to a champion. He makes everybody's like MPJ this, MPJ that. He can't really play. He shoots too much. He does this, that. He makes him look really good. Can he take a Jeff Green and get him paid? Yep. Can he take Bruce Brown and make him get paid? And then everybody goes, ooh, meaning the Pacers were like, let's just pay you, and then you weren't that great. Sorry, bye. I think this man makes them so much better, and I think that's why the Russell Westbrook thing will work out. But if it doesn't, like I said before, blame him the same way I blame LeBron.
Okay.
That's my only consistency argument for that.
I love it, Justin.
Oklahoma City Thunder, they were the 1 seed last year, again, thanks to Victor Wembanyama, 57-25, huge. They were the 1 seed, and they shored up their only 2 weaknesses, the center position and the defensive wing position, by bringing in an all-NBA level defender at the wing position in Alex Caruso and, Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein unfortunately breaks his hand. He's out. He will be reevaluated in 5 to 6 weeks. I'm sure we probably agreed that he'll be back postseason time. Probably by the All-Star break he'll be fine. But the best team in the West, at least on paper, last year got better in the offseason, and they still, by the way, have a fucking war chest to unload if they want to. If not like I'm just throwing a name, like if Giannis or somebody like that gets unhappy and rumblings start occurring, there's really only one team in the league that can unload the war chest like the Thunder can. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I think they're going to be right there. I think they're going to be the 1 seed again. In terms of games won, I don't know if they're going to win more or less, whatever, but I do think they'll be the 1 seed. SGA, MVP level season again coming. He's going to be an animal. Caruso, crazy. Jalen Williams, another season of development. Still have Dort. Chet gets better, hopefully. You bring in Hartenstein to allow Chet to be Chet instead of trying to be a big man that he's just not. What else is there to say?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get a sophomore slump out of Chet because that was his sophomore season because he sat out for the year, and you're going to see a lot of that still move in the right direction.
Right.
I think it's really great. J-Dub's only going to get better, and SGA is still MVP candidate, like you said. The rest of the team makes up for everything else on defense. Having Caruso, having I don't know what more to say, honestly. It's just an insane team, and they got better. And they gave up Giddey and got better. Yeah. And that's kind of like the huge thing is addition by subtraction. That specifically, getting rid of Giddey.
Yep.
I think to a degree, saying that he can't have a sophomore slump because it was his sophomore season. Then people talked about him for Rookie of the Year, so I guess he can have a sophomore slump since it technically wasn't his second season. But I just see them dipping a little bit. I don't think people saw them coming, a la the Pacers, and so they didn't take them as seriously. I just feel like that's kind of the truth as a whole team. We saw Shea be really good, but we didn't see this team being the 1 seed. I don't know that anybody picked them to be the 1 seed last year.
No, just OKC fans.
Yeah, like and they were right on, right? Because it's like your town's band. You're like, this band's really good. Nobody else heard of them. So like. And then blow up, and you're like, "Oh, of course I knew." I see them slipping a little bit. I just kind of do. I think this happens a lot, especially in the Western Conference. And I think we've talked about 2 other teams that this happened to: the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, really high up in the standings, and then things just kind of happen, and they wind up not at the top of the standings in the next couple of years following that. And so that's what I would be weary with, which is just the history of the league.
Yeah, I mean, there's health though, health and guns.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Guns.
To an extent, Zion played 70 games last year, and they were a 7 seed.
Yeah, but that wasn't the same team. That was the 2 seed. All right, we got to do some predictions for the fucking awards and all that.
Yowza.
So, yeah, you guys want to spend 45 minutes on the East.
The Pistons got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, look at me, brother. All right, it's Speed Takes. Before the season gets going, we got to get our award predictions on wax. So what better way to do it with some Speed Takes?
Do it.
Hey.
Bob, who wins Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year is going to the one, the only, Reed Shepherd. Kind of a pocket pick there for the Rockets.
I agree.
I think you're going to see a lot of playing time with him. He'll look good next to Şengün and Jalen Green. Look out. Reed Shepherd.
Now, Alex Sarr, really good on a bad team. I think that's going to help you win the Rookie of the Year.
Also true.
I'll go Reed Shepherd as well. Sure. DPOY, any question?
It's Vic.
Yeah.
You know what? Rudy Gobert again.
Fuck yeah.
Give it to him again.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
More than Hakeem. I don't know if he's allowed to win them anymore. Like, I don't know that the voters will ever give him one again.
Sure, I find that a weird argument, to be honest, but it's fine.
You can't. You can't. No, it's obviously
Don't give him more
Victor's going to win
ammunition.
like 7 in a row. Yeah,
then why does he get them more?
Because he's as good as a guy like Hakeem.
But
he's like,
Rudy's a walking top 3 defense.
that doesn't mean anything if you get exposed
That
every
means
time.
you're important on defense.
But what happened in the postseason? Every year. It happens every year.
No, it doesn't. That's not what
You run
happened
out
to
of
them. Their offense couldn't
You want me to
score.
pull up the possession?
Did you
Run out
not
of
watch
every
the same
single-
fucking situation?
every single possession.
One
Every
video of
single
Luka
possession.
shooting over him.
No,
and then everybody's like,
every
he
single
was
possession
bad.
against the Mavericks.
They
Every
won
single
the
possession
series against the
the-
Nuggets.
He was
Every
a
single possession
liability.
against the Mavericks, it happens. It's a switch. You expose them on the perimeter. It happens every postseason.
I can't wait for Luka to
torch
torch the shit out of Victor on the perimeter. And everybody goes, look, he can't defend.
He's leagues better perimeter defender than
Yes, he
Rudy's
is.
ever been. 6th man of the year?
Give me. I don't know. This could be an Alex Caruso, actually. Have him come off the bench, run the second thing. I don't know. But I think he'll get too much playing time as well. That's a weird one for me. Come back to me. Go to him. I'll think of one real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with last year's favorite, Malik Monk. I think that they're gonna play really well. He's gonna play really well. I think the only reason he lost it last year was because he got hurt in an untimely situation, which led to not that he didn't deserve it. He played great, but I think that's why he lost it. So I think if he stays healthy, I'm gonna go with Malik Monk.
DDV.
Oh,
I
Dante
think he's going to start. No.
He won't.
I absolutely think he's going to start.
He will not start.
I 100% believe this.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot about him. That's my fault.
Caruso's not going to start either. Or Caruso is going to start, sorry.
Jordan Poole, my 6th man of the year.
Coach of the year?
Jamal Mosley.
Yeah,
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I think the Magic are gonna be really good. Said it earlier.
Bickerstaff turns the Pistons around.
Whoa, okay.
We're back, baby.
Holy shit, yeah.
Or Darko. Watch the Raptors
You know what?
get a play in,
He doesn't have one.
clear it.
Give me Spo. I don't know.
Oh, finally, yeah.
I thought
Okay,
you
yeah.
were gonna go with JJ. I was like, yeah, do it.
It's the big one. Who wins MVP?
Jaylen Brown coming off hot from an MVP
Did you say
season.
Tatum earlier?
No, I said Brown.
Oh.
Coming off hot from a finals MVP. He's going to be motivated as hell. And yeah, it comes down to if the people around you are good, that can kind of like dictate your MVP case a little bit. So the argument is, oh, Tatum's going to be good enough to kind of take it away from Brown. I don't think so. I think Tatum will just kind of complement it. Brown will be great.
I don't see a world where we're not talking about this towards the end of the year. And it's Jokic and who? It's Jokic and who? It's Jokic and who? It's Jokic and who? And so I'm just going to go with Jokic again. I just feel like that's kind of the situation. He's never generally the favorite going into the year. I think he was last year for different circumstances, but I think as his individual play, I think it'll come down to him and somebody else. So I'm going to lean him because I don't know who the somebody else will be quite yet.
He won the first one because Giannis couldn't win 3 in a row. He won the second one rightfully. He didn't win the third one because Embiid should have won 1. Then he won the third one because he should have won Embiid's.
Yeah.
And then he won last year. And then
he only has 3.
No, I know. I'm saying he won't win this year. Because of narrative.
It's Luka's year.
It's Luka's year.
Yeah.
Luka 33 9 and 9 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Statistically, he's been just as good. And in terms of more valuable, you could say overall roster, the Nuggets the last 2 seasons have had a better overall roster than the Nuggets have, than the Mavericks have.
Luka's been the favorite like the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think that's just because of oh, he's young, it's his time, and
SGA has entered the chat.
SGA has entered the chat. I just don't think statistically he's going to be.
I don't think so either.
Because the bar has been raised now.
And I really don't want to. I don't want to give him an MVP yet. I want to give him one, but not yet.
I just don't think he's that as good as those top 4 guys. I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not
a negative way. But
you're right. He's not like a triple double machine like Luka.
What are you talking about? He finished.
I don't think he's
third last year.
Yes, but I don't. As far as as an actionable player, I don't think he's better than Embiid. I don't think he's better than Jokic. I don't think he's better than Giannis or Luka. I just don't think he's as good as them at basketball.
Okay.
That's all.
Who wins the East? Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics.
Yeah.
I'm riding with my heart. The Magic.
Okay. Orlando Magic.
Who wins the West?
The West. Timberwolves.
I am going to go with... I think the Mavericks actually pulled out
Again.
Yeah.
I'm going chalk. I think it's Thunder Celtics. Thunder are going to be really good. Thunder are going to be really good. Celtics are going to be really good.
Really good.
Who wins the title?
Your 2025 champions are... First back-to-back in a while. Boston Celtics.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pick somebody you didn't even pick to win either conference. That would be hilarious.
Out of nowhere. From the rafters.
The Cavaliers!
Yeah, you guys don't know about the forgotten division.
Dark horse.
Hear me out. I think the Mavericks win the title. And I think everybody, because they're going to give Jokic the MVP, then Luka's going to win the title, and then he's going to win the next MVP.
See, I also think that because of the way that the playoffs played out last year, losing a 20-point lead in the second half of a Game 7 at home.
A lot.
Yeah, but he took his team to the finals.
Yeah.
Sure.
That kind of stuff matters. It lingers into voters'
But
heads.
he ran out of gas.
He didn't play well.
He ran out of gas. He was very injured. He had
and got his team to the finals.
He had shots in his chest. The guy was crazy.
Yeah, got his team to the finals.
Yeah.
Injured. Got his team to the
But he
finals.
did it.
Didn't lose a 20-point lead in Game 7.
Booyah.
At home. Okay, so that is it for speed takes. I forgot how to do this whole transition thing. Boy, I've been rusty. Has it been 2 months? 2.5 months? 2 months.
Yeah, 2 of them guys.
2 of them things.
2 damn things.
Yeah, boy, wow. What a fucking time.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yay, basketball. The basketball game show. And we didn't even do a game. That's crazy.
Yes,
yeah, we did.
Yes, President Biden. Yay, basketball.
I guess we should, huh? Okay.
Okay.
One-on-one, winner takes all. One-on-one.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. One-on-one.
One-on-one.
Surprise, surprise. The guys didn't know about this, so that's probably why they were spending 25 minutes on the fucking Raptors and Hornets.
Say something.
I was trying. I was like, let's get it going here.
Communicate.
All right, it's 1-on-1. This game goes quickly, so you guys will get some points. No points for me. That's all good. No big deal. We'll make this one quick. You guys don't know how this goes. I will give you a category. For example, Eastern Conference teams. You will then go back and forth, each naming a team, player, person, or subject that falls within the category. Each round is worth 50 points. The first person unable to come up with a response that falls within the category loses, and the points from that round go to the winner. You must answer quickly and clearly, and I will settle any disputes. Sound good, team?
That sounds great.
Alrighty, guys. Oh yeah, I think okay, cool. Round one. Think of a number between 1 and 75.
42.
41.
It was 14. So Bob, would you like to go first, I assume?
Yep.
All-time Rockets players.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
James Harden.
Okay, Chris Paul.
Okay, Russell Westbrook.
Jalen Green.
Clint Capella.
Alperen Şengün.
Wowza. KPJ.
Fred VanVleet.
Oh my goodness. Scottie Pippen.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh my goodness. Charles Barkley.
Reed Shepherd.
Yao Ming.
Tracy McGrady.
Okay. Give me oh no.
Nope. Jeremy Lin.
Nice.
Dwight Howard.
50 points to Bob. 50 points to Bob. Alrighty. Round 2. Justin starting. All-time head coaches.
Doc Rivers.
Jamal Mosley.
Oh, Eric Spoelstra.
Charles Lee.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go Mike D'Antoni.
Kevin Ollie.
Okay. Phil Jackson.
Adrian Griffin.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Phil Knight.
Tom Thibodeau.
I don't know if Phil Knight's an NBA coach.
Nope.
He was a coach. Where did he go?
That's Nike.
Phil Knight.
Yeah.
Phil Knight's college
Carolina?
coach. Yeah, college coach.
North Carolina? Is that where he was at?
Duke, North Carolina. something like that.
North Carolina State. Indiana.
He's a coach somewhere.
Indiana, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Larry Bird.
Could have been
Would've
Baghdad.
a good one.
Wouldn't have known. You said Charles Lee, and I thought of Charles Manson again. That's why I was laughing. By the way, earlier, John Anthony said, I bet Charles Manson could motivate a group, though.
Oh, boy. Yes, he could. He did.
Which one?
All right, round 3. Bob starting. Scoring champs.
Steph Curry.
Carmelo Anthony.
James Harden.
Michael Jordan.
Fuck. Joel Embiid.
Luka.
Scoring champs. Tracy McGrady.
Kevin Durant.
Russell Westbrook.
Kobe Bryant.
Scores. I'm lost. Sorry. Nope. Ran out on that one.
Tracy McGrady did win the scoring title twice.
I thought it was once. I was like, I'm sure, but I'm just going to keep moving.
All right. Round 4, final round. Justin
round.
starting.
Okay.
And you already know what this one is.
Mother!
Oh, you're wrong. It's not that.
Oh.
Arenas.
But is it the other one?
It's not that one either. I guess. Okay, sure. Actually, not the last round. Round 4. Round 4.
We went in order to set. It was like a fucking mascot.
We knew what it was.
Damn it,
we were
Arenas!
only going to do 4 rounds. Now we're doing 6. Round 4. NBA mascots.
Oh, Benny the Bull.
Give me champ.
Mavs man.
Oh, Suns Gorilla.
Oh, it's the Denver guy. Fuck.
Nobody said Moondog.
Oh,
Disappointed.
Cleveland's favorite.
What's the other one?
Cleveland.
This is for you.
That's the
I would have given you the point if you did. All right, Bob, round 5.
Damn it.
NBA Arena.
God damn it. The Intuit Dome.
Oh, TD Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Okay, Crypto.com.
The Chase Center.
American Airlines Center.
How about the United Center?
Well, give me the...
Nope. Barclays Arena.
Good
Give me
fucking call.
Give me the.
Okay, last one now for real. Justin starting.
Hey, what's up?
Players named Jalen.
Hey!
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Williams.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Williams.
Damn you. There is now a third Jalen Williams in the league.
Jalen Rose.
Jalen.
You didn't say current players.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Suggs.
Jalen McDaniels.
Jalen Duren.
Oh, yeah. Jalen Dick. Grady's brother.
But you know what that was?
That's right, it's the Jalen round. Jalen Brown, it's the Jalen Brown, yeah. Jalen Brown, it's the Jalen Brown, yeah. Jalen Brown, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jalen's 4. Jalen Brown.
Jalen's now.
Wow, Jalen Brown.
We're back.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys finish the game with?
We finished that game 200 to 100. Bob.
Bob wins? So then
Yeah,
Bob
Bob
wins
wins.
the day?
Bob wins the day.
Turn
Bob
around,
wins.
spin that wheel
Spin the
there,
wheel,
Bob.
God!
Go ahead. Spin it.
Turn it a little bit towards me.
Turn it.
There you go.
Now get it. A spin now.
What's this say?
Steal 500 points.
Oh, hot start. Hey now.
Hey now.
I feel bad taking him from Trey since he's not here, but
Yeah,
it's
don't
almost
do it from
like,
Trey.
all right, fine. Then I will have to take it from, got to take it from Justin.
Why?
You're the only other person
That
that
got
got points
points.
today.
So?
Minimizes the damage across the board for friendships over
Yeah,
here.
that's a good
That's
point.
true. I thought we were. Never mind.
Alrighty. Well, now that we've, let me, like I said, I'm rusty on these transitions. God, I don't remember what the hell I'm doing over here. Now that we've got all these points, it's time to gamble them away in a little thing we like to do called Props to You.
Excited edition of Props to
Unit props.
You. Hey, Trey. Oh, not here. But 1,500 big ones, we are keeping them in the bank. Don't worry, they don't gain any interest. Now, Bob, you are in first place.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell, over 35 and a half points. Rebounds, assists versus Toronto on Wednesday? They're at Toronto, right?
Correct.
Okay, so in the six,
Six.
will he get 36 or more points, rebounds, and assists?
Sheesh. Great question. As always, Justin. It's early. Give me 1,200.
1,200.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Payne, hey, my ankle, you didn't get any points? You didn't lose any points.
I'm playing conservative this year.
Are you?
Oh, no, it's sorry for
Luka
Bob.
over 48 and a half points, rebounds, and assists versus the defensive player of the year, potentially, Victor Wembanyama.
Definitely DPOY there. Yeah, so Scary Hour, it took him with the number 1 overall pick this year in our fantasy draft. I'm pretty much betting on a 30-point triple-double.
Every game.
Yep.
No, just for this one.
Yeah.
It's 200.
I'm playing conservative this year.
Paolo Banchero for me, my man. Mavericks, I think Magic. Whoa.
Orlando Magic.
Going to be great this year. 35 and a half points, rebounds, and assists versus Miami. Crappy team Miami is comparatively to my team, the Orlando Magic.
Abracadabra. Magic. Alakazam.
Honestly, like it's kind of like a free 1,500 because like Trey's still gonna wait and he's gonna probably make a mistake. So like, give me all 1,100 of them.
And by the way, these points are not going to count for October, folks. These
No,
are
they're
going to
gonna
roll
count for
over into November.
Oh, yeah.
Do we get an extra 1,500 at the start of November?
No.
Well,
This is-
I just made a choice.
This is
That was a decision.
this is it for November. That's why
was
we
a
said
call.
we're starting these
No,
rolling into
I
November.
know I'm not upset about it. It's gonna be fun.
Before we go, just real quick, I want to give the folks a peek at our rosters here. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in right now, so this is what you're just gonna be looking at. This is my roster, fantasy for our YB sickos out here. I drafted Luka, Devin Booker, LeBron James, Zion, Julius Randle, Bam Adebayo, Nicholas Claxton, DeMar, Porzingis in my IR.
Yeah.
I feel good about my draft. Nothing super flashy, but got Luka.
The draft was a lot more even this
Booker.
year. I feel like.
I thought so too.
Some of us feel that way. Bob, let's go to Bob's team here. Bob,
Happy Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
I should have been Halloweeny.
Bob, you want
Yeah, so I had the last pick overall, so I went ahead and snagged Anthony Edwards on that snake draft, flipped it back around. Could have grabbed Sabonis, but instead I grabbed Halliburton. I just have a huge belief in those guys, and somehow Ja fell back to me. I got my MVP pick, Jaylen Brown as well. Rolling the dice on Evan Mobley. Got Pascal Siakam. I really like this team. Dante DiVincenzo was one of my last picks. He's going to be great. And hanging out there, I've got Mark Williams, picked up Denny Advia, Emmanuel Quick. I like this team. Bradley Beal, hey, now you can do something. D'Angelo Russell's empowered, do something. I like this team.
Okay. Justin's team looks a little bit like this.
That's what I give myself.
Giannis day's work.
Okay.
A Giannis today's
Like it.
Obviously, I have Giannis on my team.
We lost your guys' video for some reason, but you're still here audio-wise. So.
Fair enough.
Okay, great.
So yeah, Giannis. I also, for some reason, got Joel Embiid on the backswing of that the second round. Wound up then
I don't know
taking
how the fuck that happened.
wound up taking Şengün next. James Harden, I think, obviously going to have a really, in my opinion, obviously a really good statistical year because he's going to be the only thing going over there. Yeah, overall, I'm about to banking on the Jamal Murray comeback season. Cade Cunningham growing. Zach LaVine's bounce back year. I think CJ McCollum benefits from not having to have the ball. And with my very last pick in the draft, Kawhi Leonard in my IR spot. Because at that point in time, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that still drives me crazy. I don't get that.
I know how you got Embiid because Trey, hardworking father of 3&D, second place finisher last year, took Trey Young, number 6 overall.
He had 2 picks before I took Embiid, by the way.
Yeah, took Trey Young, then AD. So he's got LaMelo, Trey Young, AD, Triple J, DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, Tyler Hero, John Collins, LaMelo, Jalen Brunson.
He's got big bets for a few dudes.
Yeah,
so.
Jalen Johnson, really good player. I had him last year. So that's what the 4 of ours looks like. We'll dive into some other. Kyle, of course, is in this league as well. George is not this season. He had to take a year off, but we'll dive into that when we have more time rather than an hour and 40-minute episode. So I know you can't see the guys, so it's just me. So hello, and also goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. We really do appreciate it. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at @yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Just a reminder, we are recording and streaming live from the A Studio.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Bob, they can't see you, but they can hear you. Anything for the people?
Yeah, of course. We had a great brat summer, so let's have ourselves a fucking kick-ass fall, brother. Let's rock.
I thought you had something better than that.
Justin.
Okay.
It's amazing to be back. I'm so excited for the season. It's going to be a blast. And because it's going to be, Jaren Jackson's already out. It's going to be a blast. So go out and
Touch the grass! While
Very
you can.
good, very good. Of course, before we sign off, it's our random weather report of the week. In honor of a new acquaintance of someone that we know, we're giving you weather for Dallas, Texas.
Yes!
The Dallas Fort Worth area.
It's Dallas. It's Dallas. Tonight, 74 degrees. Now, we're not sure what that is measured in Kelvin.
Granted, sorry, guys.
It's the mid-70s.
Sorry, freaks.
It's the early 70s. Winds picking up.
Southeast, southwest. What's the movement on that?
What does traffic look like?
You see, I was gonna do traffic report, but it's a northwest wind.
I'm getting northwest.
8 to 7 miles per hour from midnight to 6 a.m.
Perfect.
Damn.
I thought you were going to say it was a northwest traffic.
They're only going that way.
Only going northwest.
Where are they going?
Arlington.
man.
What are they
I don't
running
know where
from?
Texas is.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for coming on back to the stream. This was a long one, obviously. We missed you. It was, if I'm being honest, a much needed break. I was working on a lot over the summer, doing Survivor and doing all this and that, and did a lot of travel. Took a much needed vacation for all of us. So we're very, very glad to be back. Going to be a great, great season. We will see you in 2 weeks. We will not be here next week. Enjoy the sports equinox, though. It should be a good episode, a good week to watch some sports. Enjoy the fucking NBA, brother!
We're back!
We're back! We love you! Don't forget!
Hey, basketball.
Yay, basketball!